Good morning, everybody. Really nice to see some of you are chatting together before the lesson has started. Morning. It's just to keep you safe. It is really lovely to see you talking together, but remember your chat is open to the public, so we just need to have your safety as the most important thing. So welcome back to lesson 2. I am Nicole from Bright Idea Education, and as I told you, we are in the process of trying to deliver a really exciting maths app to start with, and then we'll go on to other subjects. It's not ready yet, so in the meantime we are offering you some live lessons to try and create a little bit of a classroom feeling. Now, it was really great to have so much feedback from the last lesson, and some of the feedback was, can you make it a bit more challenging? And that's what we're going to do today. But I do want to just make sure that I am checking understanding, so please bear with me. We have got the curriculum for years 3 and 4 here, and some of you will be in year 4 and you will feel very confident. But what I'm going to say to anybody is, if you feel super confident, you might want to also tune into the next lesson. And if you're feeling at any point that the lesson is getting a little bit too tricky for you, make sure you watch the previous lesson, because I'm doing 3 lessons on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and they get more tricky each lesson. So if you are not challenged enough, jump on to the next lesson. If at any point you feel that it was a bit tricky, go on to the previous one. So while people are setting up, I've got a little problem for you to do. Now, you should have pencil and paper ready, and it would be really great if you're keeping all your learning from your lovely teachers together and your Bright Ideas lessons together as well. If you've got a little folder or a book you can keep it in, then you can look back and see what we did last time. So I've got a problem to set you, so I'm just going to drop the camera down so that you can see. Okay. So, using the digits 1, 5, 6, and 7, and using each digit only once, how many 4-digit numbers can you make? Using the digits only once, so you can't repeat them, okay? So this is something, if you don't get to finish it before I start the lesson, you can go back to it at any point during the lesson. If something's a little bit too easy for you, you can hop out and carry on with this problem. If you don't get this problem done, it does not matter. This is just a little activity to challenge people who might find some parts of the lesson a little bit too easy. Now, you know, I say to us all the time some very important things about maths. We use the maths we know already to help us do new maths. Another really important thing about maths is that you work systematically. Okay, so try not to do this randomly. Try not to just try and think of any numbers you can. Think about all the numbers you can make starting with a 1 and all the numbers you can make starting with a 5, for example. That could be a systematic way of working. You decide what's going to be your system, but have a system, have a way of checking that you're not repeating numbers. So I've just put this here just while we're waiting for more people to join us, and I can see some other people are coming on already. So those of you who are busy working on this activity, I'm not expecting you to comment, so that's brilliant, because you are very busy doing this activity. Okay. So using the digits only once, how many 4 digits? So not how many numbers in total, how many 4-digit numbers can you make? How many 4-digit numbers can you make? Just while we give people a few more minutes just to catch up. Few more minutes, maybe not even that. No, I'm not going to accept an answer like lots. And there are many more than 4. There are more than 4 numbers that you can make. More than 4 numbers that you can make. So if it's easy, let me see the number. Let me see if you got it correct. And you can explain later how you work systematically. So save your paper. Save your paper. Okay. So I don't want you to show me the numbers that you made. I just want you to tell me how many you can make. Okay, so I haven't seen the total yet that I've made. So somebody got very close to it. Yes, there are more than 4. That's quite right. There are more than 4. So if it's easy, make them all and tell me how many you made. Okay. Okay. Well, nobody's put the answer up yet that you can make. So I think I might have seen it. And I think some of you may have worked on problems like this before. It's just, no, it's not infinite number of numbers, because I'm saying how many 4-digit numbers. And even if I was saying how many 4, 3, 2, or 1 digit, it's not an infinite number. Okay. There is a finite number you can make. It's more than 15. I'm not going to say what the answer is yet. I can see somebody's push in there saying, hello, is this it? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. So you can carry on working on that if you want to. As we're progressing the lesson, you can come back to it. As I said, we're going to start off with some concrete things, and then we're going to get a little bit more abstract later on in the lesson. So today we are going to look at subtraction. So I'm going to use some pictorial things to start off with, just to check understanding, but please bear with me. It will progress without these. The lesson will progress without these. So I'm going to drop you down again. So I have got some tens frames out. Okay, I've got some tens frames out, and I'm going to put some counters out. So you need to just make sure you're counting how many I'm putting out, so you know the number that we are starting with. So easy peasy. I would expect you all to be counting in tens and not counting these counters individually. So you should already be seeing straight away, oh, there's 20 for a start. Okay, so very quickly, you should see that I have 25 out there, 10, 20, 25. Okay, so I am going to take away from that number 6. I'm going to take away 6. Can you please type in the subtraction equation that shows 25 counters taking away 6 with the answer? Okay, so can you please type in the subtraction equation for 25 take away 6 with the answer? So I should see 2 math symbols in there. 2 maths. I want the whole equation, please. 25 with 6 taken away and the answer, the whole subtraction equation, please. Well done for those of you who have listened. Okay. And we're going to take away 6. Well, there's 5 straight away, so I know it's 20. And then it's just one more. Really easy to see it on the tens grid. Really, really easy. And you should have written, oh, it was 25, wasn't it? Not 24. That random 4 came in there. 25, take away 6, 19. Okay, so the tens grids are really helpful. If you haven't got those number bonds in there like a photograph, if you absolutely have to take any time to think about it, then I'd like you to make some tens grids at home and do some taking aways using the tens grid, so you can see the cross in the 10, and it really helps you to understand. So if you didn't get that like that, I'd like you to make some tens grids at home and practice with them so that you get really, really quick at doing your subtraction. Okay, another thing that we can use, and again, bear with me if you are already quick using your subtraction, is a number line. When we are using a number line to subtract, which way do we count? Which way do we jump? If we are taking away, do we jump forwards or do we jump backwards? Somebody tell me which way. Let me see. When we do takeaways on the number line, do we jump backwards or do we jump forwards? How do we use the number line accurately? Yep, we go backwards because the number gets smaller when you take things away. If somebody takes away your pocket money, you end up with less pocket money. Those jumps are backwards. You don't end up with more. Now I have a little challenge for you. I want to make sure that you know all the vocabulary associated with takeaways. Where's my takeaway gone? There you are. I've done one for you. Now I have to say the year 1 and 2 class, I think we got up to 12 different ways of using a word for this maths operation, for this takeaway, for this removing things. Oh, just gave you one. So let's have a look. Type in some words. Let's see how many we can get up to. How many different ways can we say takeaway? I'm going to open mine up here so I can be really quick as they come in. Actually, it's just a really good point, and I'm going to show you that you can move both ways on a number line when you're doing subtraction. We'll come back to that, so thank you for raising that. You can. I just wanted to get the idea that if you were just literally going to take away, you would jump back. But we're going to use an empty number line. Hopefully we'll have time to do that today, and you will see that you can do both, but you've got to be clear what you're doing. Okay, let's have a look. So we have remove. Well done for listening. So remove, if you are removing a number, you are doing this maths operation. You are taking something away. I'm going to remove £5 of your pocket money. Does not mean you're going to get £5 more. It's going to be your £5 less, all your savings. Let's have a look. Less than. Yes. Yes, I had thought of less than. And we got that this morning. Okay, minus. Yep, minus is another one. Less than, minus. Subtract. Yes. Subtract. Reduce. Did I have reduce? Yes, we did have reduce. Oops. Minus wants to be minus the board. Reduce. Subtract. Less. Less on its own. Yes, we did have less. Yes, we did. Ooh, same one's good. Deduct. That's a new one. Yes, deduct. Deduct. Decrease. Yes, we had decrease this morning as well. Those year 1 and year 2s. Less than, decrease, deduct. Yes, let me have a look what else I've got here. I'm going to put this, I've got this one up there, take away already. I've got 3 more down here. Now, the person who said we could go up or down on a number line, you can use both. You might think this word would be helpful for that. I've got less. So I'm not sure whether we had this one, remove. Remove 2 from 5, remove 43 from 521. You would have to do that operation. Okay, remove. Without. What is 75 without 5? Well, in maths, it's 70. If 5 was 75's friend, 75 might be unhappy. Okay, and there is one more which didn't come out this morning. I had to... We did have remove, okay. This one didn't come up this morning either. And this is often one that causes a lot of problems. The difference between. Take off. Yeah, that's another one. Well done, take off. We didn't have that one, so I think we've just gone one over. Take off 3 from 520. Yes. In science and in motion has a different meaning. But in maths, if you take it off, you mean you remove it. Okay. So take off. The difference between. So let's just look at that. I'm going to put something out again just to really make this point, because difference does cause a lot of problems for people. I think that they just look at numbers and say, what do you mean difference? What do you mean difference? So different means what's the same about them and what's different. So you could say, I have 2 eyes, you have 2 eyes. If you have blue eyes, we both have blue eyes. If you have brown eyes, well, we both have two eyes. Mine are blue and yours are brown. So that's what's different between us. So let's just drop this down. I know they're easy numbers, but I just want to make sure we understand this difference, okay? So let's just drop this down. Yeah, so we have got here two numbers, really, really easy numbers, but let's just use them to explain the difference. So what is different about these two numbers? I'm not interested in the color. I'm interested in the quantity. What is different between these two numbers? What is the difference between them? What is the same? What is the difference between them? What is the difference between those two numbers? Okay, not interested in the colors, not interested in the colors at all. I'm interested in the mathematical quantity. Okay, the mathematical quantity. Thank you for telling me there are two removes. I have just removed one, so now there is one. Okay, the mathematical quantity is 3. Now let's just make sure we really understand the difference. Now what is the same about them is that they both have 4. But this number has 3 more. It is different by 3. That is the difference. This number has 3 less. It doesn't have those 3. The difference between them is 3. That is what is different. Now you can find the difference by counting on a number line or counting back, and we're going to do a little bit of that together. So the difference is 3. So let's make sure we really understand difference. Okay. So we're going to try something different now, and I'll have to have some feedback on how this works, because I know that people have different internet speeds. So the lag time between us can vary enormously. So I'm just going to try this and we'll see how it works. And you can give me some feedback on whether it was useful or fun, or whether it was just too difficult. We're going to do a little bit of a mental maths test, okay? So you need to listen carefully. And I'm going to use the vocabulary that we've been working on today. I'm going to use the vocabulary that we've been working on today. So I need you to listen carefully and then to write down the sums, okay, the equations, and note the answers. So on your paper, can you, let's move this out of the way, I can show. So can you put the numbers 1 to 5, because this is going to be a mental maths test. So can you put the numbers 1 to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just put the numbers 1 to 5 so that you can clearly remember where you put your answers, because you're going to have to mark your own work. So I don't want you to put any answers in the chat. I just want you to listen, and I want you to write your answers on your paper. And at the end, I'm going to ask you how many you got right. Okay, so I don't want any answers coming in at the moment. So let me know, give me a thumbs up that you have written the numbers 1 to 5 and you are ready on your paper. Okay, so question number 1. Question number 1. What is 200 more than 51? What is 200 more than 51? Don't write the answer in here, write it on your paper. Okay. What is 200 more than 51? Do not write the answer in, write it on your paper. Question number 2. What is 300 minus 7? What is 300 minus 7? What is 300 minus 7? Don't tell me, write it on your paper. Okay, write it on your paper. So if we see any answers coming in, we're going to remove them. We don't want any answers coming in. You're just listening and writing on your paper. Question number 3. What is the sum of 420 and 430? Sorry. What is the sum of 420 and 430? Okay, no answers coming in, write them on your paper. Question 3 was, what is the sum of 420 and 430? Question number 4. What is the difference between 777 and 71? 777 and 71. 777 and 71. What is the difference? Write the answers on your paper, okay? Any answers coming in, we will remove them. Write the answer on your paper. This is a mental maths test, just like in your classrooms at school. You're not allowed to call out the answers. You've got to write them on your paper, and then we will mark them at the end. Okay, so write the answers on your paper. And question number 5, which is more, 31 plus 27 or 85 take away 22? Which is more, 31 plus 27 or 85 minus 22? Okay, I'm just going to go through those questions again, just for you to check what you've done, and then I'm going to go through the answers, and then I will ask you to tell me how many out of 5 you've got right. So, you know, you have to be honest and those questions. One more time, just look at your paper, check your answers, and then I'm going to share. So, question number 1, what is 200 more than 51? What is 200 more than 51? Question 2, what is 300 minus 7? What is 300 minus 7? Question 3, what is the sum of 420 plus 430? What is the sum of 420 plus 430? Nobody should be putting any answers in at the moment. And all good listeners are just checking their answers now. That's what all the good listeners are doing. And good listeners are good learners. Question 4, write the difference between 777 and 71. The difference between 777 and 71. And the last question, which is more, 31 plus 27 or 85 take away 22? Or 85 take away 22. Okay. So we are going to go through the answers. Okay. So question 1. So this is when you can look at your answers and tick them. Okay. So let's have a little look. I'm going to say, put the answer in for number 1. What is 200 more than 51? Put the answers in. Let's see. 200 more than 51. Put the answer in. 200 more than 51. The answer to question 1. Let's have a look. 200 more than 51, which is 200 plus 51. Answer is 251. So if you got 251, you can tick. Question number 2, 300 minus 7. 300 minus 7. Well, we know our bonds to 100. We know 93 goes with 7. So we're going to split up one of those hundreds. 300 minus 7 is going to be 293. If you got 293, give yourselves a tick. What is the sum of 420 and 430? Question number 3. 420 and 430. Well, I know 20 and 30 make 50. So those two come together to make 50. And there's 2 400s there, making 800. So the answer is 850. So if you got 850, give yourselves a clap on the back. Whoop. So number 4 was what is the difference between 777 and 71. We know difference is how they are different. So to see how they are different, we have to take away the amount that is the same. So the amount that is the same is 71. Well, let's use our number bonds up to 100. 77 take away 71 is 76. We haven't touched the hundreds, so 776. Okay. And the last one, which is more, 31 plus 22. So we have to calculate them to find out the answer. So 31 and 27 is 58. 85 take away 22, 5 to 83 is 63. So this is more. So 85 take away 22 is more. So how many did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you get 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5? Show me. How many did you get? How many did you get? Show me. Show me, show me, show me. Four out of 5, 5 out of 5. Okay. So you either got 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 5. Okay, so you only need to tell me once. Okay. Okay, so give us some feedback. Ask your grown-ups for feedback in the email whether that worked, because with the time lag, it's hard to know. I'm going to give you another little problem to think about. Okay, just going to write this again to make it a bit clearer. It looks like it's got a bit smudgy, so I'm just going to write this again to make it clearer. So I want you to tell me what is the value of the triangle here. What is the value of the triangle? And I'm just going to drop the screen down again so that you can see. Can you just look at this for me? Okay. What is the value of the triangle? How much does a triangle weigh? How much does a triangle weigh? How much does the triangle weigh? How much does the triangle weigh? Okay. How much does the triangle weigh? I'm going to go through this in a moment. So we can see that the square or the cube weighs 40 kilograms. And a cube plus 2 triangles, maybe they're square-based pyramids, weighs 80. So it is the purple square that weighs 40. So have a think about it. How are you going to find out what you do? Can you tell me? Can you tell me how you did it? Explain to me how you did it. Okay, somebody's asking for it to be made harder, but they've not got the correct answer. So I don't think we do need to make it harder. Okay, so tell me how you worked it out. Tell me how you worked it out. Tell me how you worked it out. Can you type in how you worked it out? I will explain. I just want to see if children can explain first. Okay, let's have a little look together. Let's have a little look together. Let's have a little look together. So let's hold this up. Okay, so you can see. So we know that the cube is 40. We know that's 40. So if we look here, we know this is 40 because it tells us down here that that equals 40 kilograms because that scale is balanced. So if we know that equals 40 and we take 40 from 80, that leaves us with 40 left over. 2 what makes 40? 2 what makes 40? 2 20s make 40. So the triangle must equal 20 kilograms. 20, 20. Okay, so you just do a little bit of thinking, We were told that was 40, so we can take that away and see what we're left with. And then we knew we had 2 of them, 20 times 2, yeah? Okay, so I did say the triangle, yeah? I said, what is the triangle equal to? Yeah? Okay, so a little bit of thinking time. So before we finish today, let's just go back to that first problem that we started with. That first problem. Now, some people, I think, had done this in class. It's quite a nice maths investigation. But remember what I said about being systematic. Okay, I just want to put you in the right direction of being systematic. So if I am looking at the digits 5, 1, 5, 6, and 7, and I'm going to see how many 4-digit numbers I can make, I'm going to work systematically. So I'm going to start off with my 1. I can do the number that is up there. Then I can say, okay, 1, 5, and then I'll flip these round. Okay. Can I do any others? No. So I've done 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 7, 6. That's with my 1 at the start. Let's try putting my 1 in the second place and seeing how many combinations of numbers I can do then. So I can have the 5 at the front and then the 6, 7. Okay, I can then move along. I can put the 6 at the front and then the 7, 6, and so on and so on. Let's be systematic, not random. Let's think about how many we can do. So if you'd like to email your answer, I have seen 1 correct answer to this problem. I have seen 1 correct answer. But if you want to email into us and tell us how many numbers, 4-digit numbers you managed to make using the digits only once, okay, then we can tell you whether you got that correctly. So we're going to look at using an empty number line to work on a bit of difference next week, next Tuesday. And I hope today was a little bit more challenging. If you did find it easy, then hop on to the next lesson where it will be a little bit more challenging. I haven't done all of the numbers there. If some of you are saying, what about this number and this number and this number? I haven't done them all. I've just said, start thinking about being systematically, working systematically. And there is a formula for knowing how many numbers you can make out of a 4-digit number, how many you can make out of a 3-digit number, how many you can make out of a 5-digit number. If you have 5 digits and you're making 5-digit numbers, there's a formula that you can use that will take in, then that will be brilliant. Okay, so how many can you make? How many 4-digit numbers? That's a question I'm leaving you with. But I'm also asking you, Is there a formula? Is there a way of knowing how many you can make without even doing it? Is there a way of knowing? Is there a formula? Can you try with another 4 digits and see, does it always come to the same number? Try with 3, try with 5. See if you can work out if there's a relationship, okay? So thank you very much for joining today. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our live feeds. Give us some feedback. Ask your grown-ups to give us some feedback and let us know if today's lesson was a bit more pacey, a bit more challenging, if it was about right. It is hard to get it right for everybody because remember, I've got year 3 to year 4. But what I am saying is it's really important for you to really understand the maths you're doing, so that at any point you're not sure, watch the earlier lessons just to go back and make sure you've got those firm foundations, because that's what's really, really important. Firm foundations. Really important to have those firm foundations, because when you go on to harder maths, if you haven't got the earlier maths sorted, it makes it really tricky. But if you've got that earlier maths, sometimes it can seem like you're doing something really easy, but actually it helps you to understand those firm foundations. So have a little look. Hopefully see you Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Subscribe to our channel. Keep safe. Keep well. Thank you. Bye-bye.